Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals. We are already midway through July. Fall fast approaching. Then it's going to be winter. Whatever the season, do yourself a favor and gift yourself a getaway to the Great Smoky Mountains. No one in Sevier County has more options, more layouts, more spectacular cabins, more entertainment in those cabins, more locations. Some right just a stone's throw from the Gatlinburg Strip. Some way back in secluded areas where you want to be. Nobody has more options than Parkside Cabin Rentals. Book online today. Visit them at parksidecabinrentals.com. Great people. Love having the Ogles on the show. They've been a big part of this show for many years now. All right, let's take a look at the results from our poll, if we could. We'll show you. Thanks for those of you we played around, and we had a lot of people voted on this thing for our first try. I'm very happy with it. 76%, this shocks me, say it was a fair verdict. And then an unjust travesty, which I thought would win, only 18%. Slap on the wrist, 6%. So this will be fun for the folks at home who always throw things at the TV when we're sitting here saying, what do you think the fans will say about this? What do you think the fans are thinking? Now the fans can actually tell us. You can tell us we're going to do this every week is the goal. And, things in football season like who was the player of the game, should Heupel have punted on fourth down?
What do you think about that call on third down?
How about that officiating? We'll have fun with it this fall. So anyway, thanks for taking part. It seems to work, and that was our first test case. All right. UT just got hit with a miss of penalties, but most people appear to be okay with them. And most people are happy with the coach, the AD, and the chancellor right now, which who would have guessed that 3 years ago? I mean, when's the last time Tennessee fans were happy with the coach, the AD, and the chancellor? And you get
any of them, let alone all of them.
Yeah, so it's amazing. Yeah. But let's talk about winners and losers very quickly. I'm going to throw out a name. You guys tell me if it's a winner or a loser. Dondi Plowman.
Winner.
Yeah, big winner.
Winner.
I think that's the biggest winner of the bunch. Mm-hmm. I think she walks out of this looking great.
A little discussion about use of adjectives, though. Stunning.
Shocking.
Yeah, shocking. We can try concerning.
So she'll need a thesaurus for the next one. Hopefully she won't have to do for the next one of these. Hopefully she won't have to do another one. All right, so we agree Dondi Plowman the winner of this. All right, Jeremy Pruitt. We haven't talked about him because who cares, but 6-year show cause, no buyout. You were the biggest loser.
Yeah, year-long suspension if he were to get hired during the show cause.
Right.
Yeah, he's the biggest loser. Right,
Goodbye.
Who's going to hire him now going forward?
Well, NFL, baby. I mean, is that
well, he did that under Joe Judge for 1 year,
right.
And I think it may be.
Chose a bad squad, I think. Didn't they all get fired? When he was with the Giants?
Yeah, he was on the Joe Judge thing, yeah.
They all got out of there.
So. Billy was on that staff, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Was a great staff.
Maybe that tells you something. Philip Fulmer, winner or loser on this?
I think he comes out a loser. I think when you look at the emails and the attempts to indicate that he wasn't aware and he should have been, I think he comes out not looking good on this at all.
I would say draw at worst. I would actually maybe argue on the winner's side. Because
I know where you're going.
Because, Jimmy, you mentioned that you thought he might actually end up being involved once this was all said and done on the NCAA side, and he wasn't. So Tennessee football is in great shape, so there's no post-blame. And he's around the program. So, yeah, I think he comes out okay.
He also hired Pruitt.
See,
he did. That's why I would mostly argue draw, but you're not going to let me get away with a draw.
I would answer loser because at best you're clueless, at worst you're clueless. I mean, the best thing for him is he didn't know what was going on, or he knew what was going on and made it look like he didn't. So you can make your choice there, but I would call him. There's a part of him that has a hard time saying loser though, because he duped the university into giving him more money.
Yeah.
I mean, how in the world do you leave? You've come back a second time. You've blown it up. You're pushing for the guy to stay. You're defending him to the bitter end, and you still say, "I'll leave, but I'm calling it a retirement, and I want my buyout." Hard to say that's a loser.
Exactly.
In that terms, Tennessee's the loser because they're the ones that are like, anything you say, you want another one? Here, you want more?
I don't think it was near as big of a loser as it could have been, is how I would look at it. And how about this? Dante Plowman, a week away from firing Jeremy Pruitt, right? Who's saying we should keep this guy? Who's saying this guy, he's a good coach, he can turn this around, he can do all this? Who did that?
No. I'm not going to force you to answer.
No.
Danny White, winner or loser in this?
He's a winner to me.
Winner.
Yeah.
Winner. Still got the fans engaged. We'll sweep over this in the next week or so, and we'll be back hyped about Tennessee football because of who he put in place and the things he's done. So I say winner on this.
Winner, and I think part of that will be fans will look back and remember that he took the job when we didn't know how all this would play out. So he gambled a little bit on coming to Tennessee, not knowing how he would have to deal with all this, and they're moving forward in a good position. So fans already like him, and I think they'll like him even more.
Made a great hire.
Yeah.
No bans, so it looks like he did what he's supposed to do on that end. We're still playing football, so.
Yeah, I mean, he gets the, if you're giving Plowman the credit, you have to give him the credit too. And the whole administration gets some of the credit. She was obviously the point person because she was out in front from the beginning and took the most heat from the beginning. But he was right there in that group making the decisions as well. I think he's a winner as well. Any other winners and losers in this thing, aside from the assistant coaches and all those people?
Well, the loser has to be, the UT compliance department to me. I mean, how on earth can you be duped and not, and you're the compliance department, how can you drop the ball like that and put your university and your football program at such great risk?
Yeah, the other staffers that had already received their show cause penalties, and then the texts come out. If you read some of these News Sentinel stories with some of the text messages, they're either embarrassing or laughable in a lot of ways.
Are there any winners and losers still in Knoxville? Still at UT? Any other winners and losers in this thing?
All the losers are the players that left in that transfer portal. They lost. We're winning now.
Heupel comes out a winner in this.
Yeah, he is.
Darnell Washington was a winner because he got money from UT to come to UT and he still went to Georgia.
Well, those
Heupel
records.
was a winner. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
The stats, records, whatever, of the players that were involved, they're going to be wiped away,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
there will probably be some stories here in the next few days when the records are updated of, so their names will be involved. So that's
some
something
guys-
I'm sure they wouldn't prefer.
And there's some. Does that work if the game doesn't count? Then somebody who was eligible but played in the game, does he lose those stats as well? Like if somebody threw for 200 yards, but he was eligible,
That's a good
do you lose those stats as well?
Well, to me, if it's
If
a
the
loss,
game was
no.
erased, I would think you would be.
I think history suggested no because there've been Oklahoma and all that. They didn't take all those players out of their record
It's a
books.
loss. I mean,
My understanding, the only stats that would go away for those that were deemed ineligible in those 19 and 2016.
Yeah, see, the wording on these things from the NCAA are always
Yeah.
kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's like when I first read it, it said 28 scholarships, and we already we accepted their 16. So my first thought was, Lord, 44 scholarships? And then you read closer, it's like, oh no, they're counting those, so the 28 is minus the 16. So the way the vacating all records and wins from, okay, well, records would mean guy threw for 250 yards or guy had 3 tackles.
Right.
So I guess I would be surprised if those went away, but
One other
It
quick
also,
note.
one thing somebody pointed out to me, it dropped Tennessee out of the top 10 all time
yes,
in wins.
wins and winning percentage.
Exactly. I mean, and that kind of stings a little.
One other quick note, I thought Tennessee made a good argument when they said, why would you give us a bowl ban when players that left our program that we know cheated played in bowl games for Oklahoma or other schools?
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty good
Or
argument. Georgia. Yeah.
It'd be interesting if they went back and scrubbed Georgia because Darnell Washington took money at UT. That would be the ultimate UT win over Georgia, wouldn't it? All right, Jeremy Pruitt took them down. Okay, very good. Marlon, thanks for coming in today. I appreciate it, as always. When we come back, we're letting you escape.
Yeah.
Which coach has inflicted the most damage on the UT program since we went on the air in 2023? This will be fun and brutal. Dooley says. Come on back.